Can you play ukulele with only one finger? Let's find out. So in that intro piece of music, everything was played with just one finger on my fretting hand. So it can be done, and let's talk about why and how. One of the reasons I wanted to make this video is I get a lot of people messaging me or dropping comments and things like that who've got some kind of issue with their hand, whether it's something like arthritis or an accident that caused an issue with their hand where they don't quite have full dexterity and full flexibility in their fingers, and they're still keen to play music. Why wouldn't you be? So I wanted to look at whether you can actually play something using only one finger, and I think you can. We'll move to a close-up and I'm going to start to talk about the chords, and then we'll return to the piece of music that I just played in the intro. Let's start with the open chords that we can play with only one finger. This isn't going to be all of them, but it's going to give you a handful to go at. So we've got our C chord, which we know already, which is 0, 0, 0, 3. If we slide that down one fret, we've got a C major 7, which is a beautiful chord. If we slide that down again, we've got a C7. If we don't fret at all and strum, we've got a C6. Obviously, we've got our A minor. If we put our index finger on the first fret of the C string, we've got an A7. If we move our finger down from our A7, just down one string, so it's actually on our E string first fret, we've got an F add 9, which is another beautiful chord and goes really well with our C major 7. So what's that giving us? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 chords with just one finger. It's a pretty good start. So as I just mentioned, if our ukulele with nothing fretted is a C6, we can actually use that and get all the other 6 chords by just barring our finger across all of the strings. Open, it's a C6. If we bar at fret 2, it's a D6. If we bar at fret 4, it's E6. Slide that up one fret and we've got an F6. 2 more frets and we've got a G6. So we've essentially got all the 6 chords by just sliding our index finger around, which is really useful. Because major chords and minor chords only use 3 notes, by being selective with our strumming, we can actually open up all the majors and minors too. Just as we've been doing, if I bar my finger across all the strings at fret 2, and I just strum the top 3 strings, that's a D chord. That's a perfectly acceptable D chord. If we slide that up 2 frets, again, only strumming the top 3 strings, that's an E chord. Slide it up another fret, that's an F chord. Up 2 more frets, we've got a G. So we've now got every major chord by only strumming the top 3 strings and barring across all of the strings, which is great. So we've now got all of our majors on top of those open chords that I just told you about before. So now let's look at the minor chords. Again, if we bar completely across all the frets, let's do this at fret 3 and we just strum the bottom 3 strings. That's a C minor, which means if we slide up 2 frets, we've got a D minor. Slide up 2 more frets, we've got an E minor. 1 more fret for an F minor, and so on. So we've got all of our majors, all of our minors, and all of the chords that we covered at the beginning as well. So now we've got quite a lot at our disposal, which is really useful. Now we've covered some chords, I'm going to talk about the piece of music that I played in the intro as well. So I started on a C major 7. Something like that. Strum once on the C major 7. Take your index finger off and pluck the A string. Pluck the G string. Then pluck the E string. And then just repeat that again. In the second bar, I just mixed that up a little bit. I actually strummed and played a pull off. Just to add a little bit of variety in there. And then I switched to my F add 9. On my F9, I actually played down, up, chuck, up. One more time. Down, up, chuck, up. And then I actually played a slide using my index finger that is on the E string from 1 to 3. So I played a slide and then I played my A string, then my G string, and then I played my open E string. And if you put those together, it's going to sound something like this. Then I moved up to an F6, so that is just barred at fret 5, so just my index finger barred at fret 5, and I increased the strumming, so I moved into some 16th note strumming with a little bit of muting going on. I'm not going to go into great detail on this one because you can kind of do what you want. Then I moved up to the 7th fret, did the same thing. Back down to the 5th. And back into my intro again. And that was pretty much it. Just a nice simple piece of music that can be played with one finger. So maybe if you know anybody that thinks they maybe can't play ukulele because they haven't got complete use of their hands or there's a slight issue, let them know that there's always a way to make music and there are always things that you can do and get around. So that's pretty much it. I hope you've learned something today. I hope you've got something that you can take away, build upon, or just you had a little bit of fun watching this video. As always, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, whatever it is. It all helps. So thank you very much, and I'll be back soon.